Some of you might know that Lindsay Clancy on December the 20th, 2022, tried to be admitted into a facility in Rhode Island. This is the Centre for Women's Behavioural Health at the Women and Infants Hospital in Providence. This is part of Brown University Health. She was told she wasn't the right fit. Now, Patrick Clancy, to this date, had been going away for work. He'd been away to New York for a couple of days in December. I don't know why he is now saying that Lindsay was failed when he was leaving her alone. She wasn't getting diagnosed. She wasn't accepted into a program at the Women's Health and Behavioural Centre. So the Women and Newborn Centre, it looks after people with mood disorders predominantly. So it's got a day hospital, outpatient service, perinatal OCD intensive outpatient program, other support services, substance abuse services. So actually for people with opioid misuse who are wanting to be able to keep caring for their babies. A Mums Matter program, that one is called. Now they have a team of board certified psychiatrists, psychologists, clinical nurses, all the people with the expertise to diagnose, treat and manage depression, mood and anxiety disorders, so postpartum depression, postpartum OCD, which can be very terrifying and dangerous. And to get admitted, the first step is a consultation at the Women's Behavioural Health Consultation Liaison Service. So they will perform a psychiatric consult. Well, they did this, and Lindsay wasn't admitted because she was told she wasn't the right fit. She was not diagnosed with postpartum depression. She didn't have the symptoms, and so she was told that she couldn't be admitted. Now, on December the 31st, she has attended, I think, the emergency room at the Massachusetts, I can't say that word, General Hospital. And that's when she got a referral over to McLean Hospital. And she went there on the January 1st to January 5th. She was discharged from there. But yeah, as the Boston Globe reports, there were no symptoms of PPD. They didn't think that they were able to treat her there. They have probably a limited number of beds and staff to look after people who do qualify. It sounds quite harsh because if you are looking for help, I mean, you need to get it. Lindsay didn't seem to want to take the help. I mean, this is a funny thing too, right? Well, not funny, but annoying about Taper Clinic, Dr. Joseph, is he's trying to say how dangerous these drugs were, but she wasn't diagnosed. She wasn't being treated incorrectly either, because they didn't know what diagnosis to give her. With regards to people insisting that she had bipolar, because she had depression and then euphoria and everything. Well, depression and euphoria are things that women naturally can have after giving birth, and sometimes it's not always a negative thing, the euphoria, but it can be quite dangerous, and people will get treated for that or get support if they look for it. Lindsay was offered support for things and she didn't take it because she didn't take her medicine properly. And if she had bipolar, she would have reacted well or positively to the seroquel, and she would have been managing to get sleep. So I don't think she had bipolar, and I don't think she was diagnosed with it. But I'm waiting to hear from people like this Rhode Island facility, McLean University, etc. I really am very curious about what has gone on in these consultations and things like that, and I think we need to wait and see, obviously. But clearly Patrick didn't think she was sick. He believed the experts, and he was leaving her alone. If he was worried about her saying she was thinking about harming the children, why was he going to New York? I mean, the thing is, she has said these things, and he still went to New York. This must have been so frustrating for Lindsay. I think she hated Patrick in those moments. She sent him to 3V. I mean, that's a dig, isn't it? Does that stand for 3 victims in her sick mind? And Patrick just showing how, I think he's so self-absorbed. Why can't he decide to purchase the off-brand medication? Why does he have to defer to Lindsay about such a simple, stupid thing? She's got her hands full at home with the 3 children. Obviously, she wasn't feeling that great. Oh, she's had the best day, but she was suicidal all day and depressed, but it was a lovely, normal day, and that wouldn't be normal, as I've said, if it, having a lovely day if things were so bad. But he still wants to bother her with the phone call, right? Nothing adds up here. Patrick, you just retrospectively saying that your wife was let down. Well, it's because she was let down by you, isn't it? She wasn't getting what she needed from you. I think it's awful. We shouldn't diminish a woman's suffering and pain just because they don't have a specific diagnosis or a particular one. We shouldn't degrade or devalue, or what is it? We shouldn't write off or not validate their feelings and their experience. That's wrong. I do think Lindsay was suffering. I do think she was exhausted. Lack of sleep will help you, not help you, but it will give you all sorts of symptoms, quote unquote, end quote, symptoms. If you're super tired, you're likely to be very sensitive. Your brain does, it's all about the processing of a brain. People need to understand that psychosis, everything like this, everything comes from within. We can only have things from our own brain, from our own brain's creation. That is the voices, the thoughts, even an auditory hallucination. Okay, it's a creation of your brain. Those audio clips where there's that suggestion, power of suggestion. So they'll play an audio clip of sort of sounds, and it's kind of like a voice, but maybe not very clear. And then they'll give you a suggestion of what the voice is saying, and suddenly that's what you hear. Well, it's kind of like that with the noises that you hear. Your ears, you're so tired, your ears are sensitive, the hairs in your ears, everything's amplifying little noises and rustlings and things. You've got tinnitus, and your brain will interpret this as words. It's like human beings will seek out faces and patterns, and the same thing is we seek out our language, okay, in our ears, and we will make something make sense out of something that is nonsensical or abstract. We will try to make it make sense. Lindsay Clancy was lashing out at Patrick Clancy. That's my belief. It's not changing as we go through these very first parts of the trial. 18 witnesses in the first 4 days. I'm still waiting. I can't wait for these medical experts, but I'm very worried about the one that is going to testify who spoke about Andrea Yates, because he's going to be very persuasive to the jury, because that's his thing, just like Taper Clinic's thing is anti-pharmacologicals, or whatever the word is. All right, goodbye.